Welcome Trinidad and Tobago to our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Joseph Lopez. Let's take a look at the headlines. The Minister of Tertiary Education and Skills Training says student retention must not be taken lightly. International investors confident about the economic climate of this country. And a closer look at the role performing arts plays in defining our national and cultural identity. We begin with news of the Caribbean Tertiary Level Personnel Association hosting a workshop entitled Student Retention Towards Improving Graduation Rates at the University of Trinidad and Tobago, Umera campus. In delivering the feature address, Senator the Honorable Fazal Karim, Minister of Tertiary Education and Skills Training, says student retention must not be taken lightly. The workshop was held under the theme, Student Retention Towards Improving Graduation Rates. The minister says student retention is something that must be taken seriously since it represents significant investment, not only by those who invest in institutions to which students attend, but also investment of the students themselves.
As I looked at this theme, I immediately wanted to find out what are the countries with the highest graduation rates in the world. My research led me to 6 countries who are the holders of these highest graduation rates. They include number 6, Ireland with 43.9%. Fifthly, New Zealand with 47.3%. In 4th place, Japan, 53.7%. Thirdly, Russia with 55.5%. Secondly, South Korea with 55.7%. And very close to us, Canada with 57.8%.
Minister Fazal Karim adds that he believes in the world of qualifications and building portfolios. He underscores that it is also important to ensure that all institutions and programs that students attend move towards some measure of crediting their attendance.
The whole aspect of student retention means striving to increase the number of full-time students enrolled per year without losing too many. As a former teacher myself, I am very much aware of the distinction between registration, enrollment, attendance, graduation, retention, which might come before graduation, and certainly another aspect of retention, the dropout rate or the fallout rate.
Minister of Finance and the Economy, Senator the Honorable Larry Hawaii, says international investors are confident about the economic climate of Trinidad and Tobago. He made this comment while delivering the feature address at the formal opening of a new head office for international insurance company, New India Assurance.
Minister Hawaii expresses his joy over the international insurer's decision to open a new head office. He believes developments of this nature will lead to a deepening of the financial sector. The finance minister says it will impact positively on this country's economic development in the long run.
The long-term nature of the investment undertaken by New India Assurance in the form of their new headquarters undoubtedly reflects the confidence that international investors have in Trinidad and Tobago as a destination for capital. Moreover, capital deepening projects such as this reflect positively on the long-term potential of this nation's economy. While I'm happy about this, I'm not surprised, as the government has placed heavy emphasis on fashioning the economic and institutional framework that would attract long-term financial capital formation of this type, and it is certainly good to have our efforts validated in this way.
Minister Hawaii says legislation has been put in place to facilitate the important role the financial sector has to play in this country's future.
The government has always held the view that the financial sector plays a significant role in our journey towards sustainable economic development. All the interventions and regulations we undertake are executed in that particular context. For our part, the government has been working to shore up the deficiencies in the legislative framework governing the financial system. In the last 6 months, we have introduced new legislation for the FIU and a new Securities Act.
The Finance Minister also reveals that new insurance legislation is coming soon. Senator Hawaii says the legislation is necessary to strengthen the insurance industry in this country.
Within the next 2 months, we intend to introduce the new insurance bill, which several of our speakers have mentioned previously. This will significantly strengthen the legislative framework. It must be understood that the need for this legislative framework is dire, as our insurance governance regime lags behind even some of our Caribbean counterparts. The insurance bill is needed to address the inadequacy of our core risk management systems, as well as the weak regulatory framework for the insurance sector. Our objectives are to strengthen the supervisory and regulatory framework, rebalance the risks and burdens of the sector, reduce moral hazard, and make the insurance system more robust.
The minister insists the proposed changes come only after extensive domestic consultation. He adds that the changes were also recommended by the International Monetary Fund. The IMF advised that current legislation should be amended and minimum standards for insurance supervision enforced. Gregory McBurney, News 4.
After the break, stakeholders meet to discuss the role performing arts plays in defining our national and cultural identity. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Ministry of Arts and Multiculturalism, and by extension the Government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, recognizes the significant role the performing arts plays in defining our national and cultural identity while potentially bolstering our economy. A stakeholders' reception took place at Queen's Hall, where concepts of evolving the arts were presented. As Minister of Arts and Multiculturalism, Dr. the Honorable Lincoln Douglas is charged with the direct responsibility for culture and the arts. He says he is deeply interested in the development of sustainable creative and cultural industries, which will harness the boundless creativity of all our people.
In the Ministry of the Arts and Multiculturalism, we believe, first of all, in our culture, that our culture is the most significant thing that we have in Trinidad and Tobago. I hasten to say then that the Ministry of Arts and Multiculturalism is the most important ministry in Trinidad and Tobago. Because clearly, without a culture, our people is adrift in the world. Without culture, we do not know ourselves.
He says our diversity is manifested in our people, festivals, culinary fare, religions, and so much more. Yet we live and work harmoniously in our shared space that binds us together. Also reflective of our diverse makeup is the variety of artistic expressions which we bring to the fore.
First of all, that the culture is the most important thing, and to that extent, we believe that the culture ministry is the most important ministry. And we are committed to locating the Ministry of Arts and Multiculturalism as that, the very most important ministry, so that it cannot be fiddled with. No administration, nobody must be moving the Ministry of Arts and Multiculturalism or Arts and Culture around. Because this takes care, first of all, of our artists and our cultural artifacts.
The minister says, as chief custodian of the arts and culture, his government is therefore committed to ensuring that our people's talent and expertise find fertile ground to develop via a series of structured and well-managed industries. He adds that they have already started building on the existing systems and structures, while simultaneously facilitating the bold conversations and stakeholder dialogues that precede any process of real and impactful transformation.
A lot of people question me sometimes about why they just give so money to this and why they just give so much money to that. I consider this an investment of the state in developing cultural artifacts that define our people and helps determine our destination, where we're going.
The event came alive at Queen's Hall, the premier concert and theatre auditorium, which has been a home for the arts for decades, and a space where the performing arts can be fully showcased and enjoyed. Using best-in-class technology with its stage, sound and lighting components, Queen's Hall boasts of a broad management and staff who evidently take pride in delivering quality service to all members of the artistic community, both local and visiting international acts. The University of the West Indies and the Government of Trinidad and Tobago are both embarking on plans to improve the public healthcare systems in Trinidad and Tobago. The plans have been spoken about as the university held a conference on improving healthcare in Trinidad and Tobago.
UWI's Faculty of Medical Sciences is stepping up to the plate to facilitate the creation of a committed workforce for the health sector in the Caribbean. The faculty says this is a direct response to the challenges facing the region over the delivery of quality healthcare. This has resulted in the faculty hosting a conference entitled Improvement in Healthcare Quality and Delivery, Making a Difference. Addressing participants in the two-day conference, UWI St. Augustine Campus Principal, Pro-Vice Chancellor Professor Clement Sankat says the university is placing emphasis on developing human resources. He says the university is undertaking new fields of study to ensure this nation's healthcare system can see a definite improvement.
We are expanding our medical programs, and the Dean mentioned, and I'm very pleased about our Masters in Public Health, the new Masters in Health Administration, both of which we had great support from the University of Alabama. We have a new online program in pharmacy. We have a new program for dental nurses that has just started. We also have a new program in nursing, a generic program in nursing, where we hope to significantly expand the training of nurses, and doing this in a new facility at El Dorado.
Minister of Health Dr. The Honorable Fuad Khan, addressing the various health sector stakeholders, believes all is being done to improve the sector. He explains that the government has embarked upon developing the infrastructure in the national healthcare system.
The Children's Hospital in Cuba has begun. The Arima Hospital, Ixani Granny Hospital is in the making with NIBDEC. I hope to do the Mayaro Hospital, the Cedros Hospital. Well, when I say hospital, I don't mean massive hospitals. I mean things to service at a local level. The health offices are being upgraded for more primary care use. Because as you see, and you know, we've been speaking about non-communicable diseases and the complications of the non-communicable diseases. Because what I'm seeing in the health offices are one-shot management and then no follow-up. So I'm trying to get the primary healthcare system to increase the quality aspect and do follow-ups of the non-communicable diseases and the complications, so we can decrease the effect.
Gregory McBurney, News 4.
The Minister of Energy and Energy Affairs, Senator the Honorable Kevin Ramnarine, says new initiatives to deal with illegal quarrying will be rolled out this year. He reveals this while addressing the media at his office at the Ministry of Energy in Tower C of the waterfront complex.
Minister Ramnarine is appealing to persons engaged in illegal quarrying to cease and desist from doing so. He makes the request amid calls from environmental groups for a more stringent approach to be taken on the matter.
The Minerals Act of 2001 creates the offence of illegal quarrying, so therefore it is illegal to mine on state lands, on private lands, without a license from the Ministry of Energy. It is also illegal to knowingly purchase material that has been mined from an illegal operation.
Minister Ramnarine says a more hard-handed approach would be taken towards illegal quarrying. He says if persons refuse to obey the law, action will be taken against them.
And the ministry will be taking all steps necessary in 2013 to deal with the scourge of illegal quarrying in Trinidad and Tobago, which impacts on our natural environment and which impacts on our water resources, our water tables and so on. And a number of initiatives will be rolled out, one of which is the introduction of a ranger squad to police and to supervise those areas. Secondly, we'll be looking at the introduction of a Ministry of Energy office in the Valencia Sangre Grande area to have greater visibility in that part of the country.
Just last week, police conducted a raid on an illegal quarry in Valencia and seized millions of dollars worth of quarrying equipment, including trucks, excavators, and machinery. Gregory McBurney, News 4.
Up next, some football action. Stay with us. Football features in our sportscast. The second semi-final round of the National FA Trophy competition was contested on Thursday at the Atherbolton Stadium in Couva. Defending champions Caledonia AIA met fellow Pro League outfit Northeast Stars for a chance to take on Central United in the final of the prestigious competition. Wayne Cunningham has the highlights from that encounter.
A place in the final of the FA Trophy competition was at stake when Sangre Grande-based Northeast Stars met Caledonia AIA of Mova Laventille on Thursday at the Atherbolton Stadium in Couva. Both teams have lifted the trophy before, with AIA being the defending champions, and although there will be no cash prize for the eventual winner of the contest, the honour of being crowned FA champs brings undeniable prestige. Northeast had a first sight at goal, with Kerry Batiste trying to catch Samuel Louison off guard. Caledonia responded with this Sheldon Holder effort. National midfielder Keon Edwards weaving his way through the Northeast defence and forcing the foot save from Adrian Fonset as AIA got into gear. But 0-0 was the score at half-time. 2 minutes into the second period, the men from Sangre Grande struck. Former Puerto Rico Islanders defender Kevon Villarreal with a neat cross and an even neater tap-in by Elijah Manners. Manners, with Colin Nelson all over him, manages the one-time shot to beat Louison and make it 1-0 Stars. Minutes later, it could have been 2-0 as Gary Glasgow and Manners combined to set up Batiste, but Louison showed why Caledonia went to Grenada to get him. Instead, it was AIA employing their trademark tight passing game, which resulted in an equalizer scored by Sheldon Holder. The Stars' woes were compounded when they lost Villarreal to an injury, and he was replaced at the back by Jason Joseph, who normally operates in midfield. His unfamiliarity with the position was exposed when he was robbed by Edwards, who slipped the ball to his captain Stefan David. He in turn found substitute Sharon Joseph, who rifled a beautiful snapshot to beat Fonset and make it 2-1 AIA. Sharon Joseph making his elder brother Kareem, who plays in AIA's defence, proud with this go-ahead goal. Joseph almost had a second but was denied by the crossbar. Caledonia would not need it though, as they booked their chance to defend their FA Trophy title with a 2-1 win over Northeast Stars. Wayne Cunningham, News 4 Sports.
When we return, our All for Carnival segment. Stay with us. Welcome back. Christmas is over, but for some, the gift of giving remains a year-round activity. Bright smiles were etched on the faces of the children at the Cyril Russ Nursery as the Indian High Commissioner to Trinidad and Tobago, His Excellency Srimali Mishra, showered them with gifts and goodies.
I am honored and extremely fortunate that I have come here to this nursery along with my colleagues from the mission and with the chairman and members of the organizing committee for the Swami Vivekananda 150th birth anniversary celebrations. This is a very special exercise being undertaken by the youth of this country who want to do service. Service to the society, to the community.
The special event also coincides with the 150th birth anniversary of the great spiritual leader, Swami Vivekananda, who devoted his life to the service of the people of India. His Excellency says, though the Swami's life was short, he made a tremendous impact in society. It is from this, he says, that he receives inspiration and motivation.
And here was a wonderful opportunity for us. We just finished doing 6 days of activities to mark this 150th birth anniversary, and we are still doing these charity drives. The youth is very much inspired and the youth is motivated to do more and more. We have decided to take up many such activities through the course of this year, year of 2013, and we are going to decide soon what are the activities going to be, how we are going to engage the entire population of this country to look at Swami Vivekananda's teaching.
He says it was heartening to see how the management and staff of the Cyril home were taking such good care of the children. After paying several visits to the nursery, it was then decided that the gift of washing machines and toilet facilities would be a fitting contribution for the home. This, he adds, will go a long way.
And how the children can make use of them, we will be very happy. And we'll also stand to be there in case of any further support and cooperation in the future. We shall be very happy. On behalf of the High Commission of India and the government and people of India, I extend my very sincere greetings to not only the Cyril Ross Nursery, but all people who are listening to us.
He says there is a greater need for social service in communities and that one should continuously give in a generous manner. Cyril Ross Nursery is an institution owned and operated by the Society of St. Vincent de Paul. It houses 35 children and is responsible for the medical management of 30 other children living with their parents and guardians in different parts of Trinidad and Tobago. Time now for our All for Carnival segment. Since the 1988 Road March contender Roll-Up de Tassa, Mr. Bisessa, she has been described as a pioneer by many. 2013 has produced a slew of Soca and Chutney Soca hits, and News 4 spoke to Drupati Ramgunai, who tells us about a success for the season thus far.
This carnival season has been extremely hectic for Chutney star Drupati Ramgunai, with shows being booked every weekend. The Lotela singer has been receiving excellent reviews for her 2013 Chutney Soca hit, Indian Gal. Indian Girl has been entered into the Chutney Monarch competition, and Drupati says she's eagerly awaiting her win.
I'm all geared up for it. I am so excited. I can't wait, because this song is so big. I think it's the biggest song, and it's pumping and it's going and fets all over, and I'm in every fet. So the competition on Saturday, the other competitors will have to look out for me.
The song has also been entered into the Soca Monarch competition, and Drupati says she has been receiving tremendous support from the North crowd. She took the time to extend some words of wisdom to upcoming artists.
I would say to the young artists, and they are some very, very good young artists, because the boys and them who wrote this song for me, they are young fellas. And I wish them all the luck, and I would say, do not get disheartened, if you don't come in the finals, if you don't come in the semi-finals. Because I have been in this thing, look how long I have been, years, about 18 years, and still I keep competing and competing and competing. So you don't give up.
Drupati says she will continue to fly the flag of Trinidad and Tobago high, and left us with a piece of her 2013 hit.
Don't feel this Indian girl can come and whine and walk she waist. Take over the street, make a bacchanal in the place. Drop it to the ground and shake it all around. Push pop on a speaker, beat it like a Indian drum. Calling Mr. Lotela. This girl, she popular. She known from all over. She come from India, but she is my sister, my one only sister. If you come in over, Come and meet me by the bar. So you could walk up the larky, walk up the larky, walk up the larky. Yes, come on, walk up the larky, walk up the larky, walk up the larky. Boy, come on, walk up the larky, walk up the larky, walk up the larky. So you could walk up the larky, walk up the larky, walk up. Call in Mr. Lotela. And you know.
And that's how we wrap up our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Joseph Lopez. Thank you for watching.